Hey Billionaire Squad, it's Donna the Billionaire, and I'm back with another video. I need to actually get open this blinds so y'all can see me. However, today we're gonna be talking about why older women should not date younger men. Okay? And we having this conversation because it seemed like ever since I turned 30, it's like younger guys be pursuing me. And I only entertained the thought 2 times, and I'm just gonna share my experience and why I think that older women should not date younger men, okay? So, even though some younger guys have like a maturity about them, they might be wise, they might have like been through, like, they might have had experiences that have allowed them to gain knowledge, allowed them to see life differently, whatever the case may be. However, they really be thinking that it's not a difference. Like, age is not a difference, but it is simply because I've had more time to experience than you, which means I've had more time to experience different settings, different things. Not that I'm smarter than you, not that I got more than you, like nothing. No, it's not even about none of that stuff. Regardless, like, it's not about none of that stuff. It's about the simple fact they are still on their journey of life. They are still learning. They are still developing, whether it be mentally, whether it be emotionally, whether it be learning how to manage their finances and learning how to have self-discipline, right? And all of this comes with just being, for one, it's not about time, it's about just developmental stages. If you think about where you was at, like if I think about where I was at 26, yes, I was very, like, at 26 I bought my first house, don't get me wrong, but I was still learning how to express my emotions. Even still now today, sometimes if you like catch me quickly with some BS, I have to really like step back because I can still lose my temper. I can still say things that I don't mean. And that's not an age thing. That's just like a never ending self-work thing, but you got to be intentional about self-work. And it's a lot that goes into it. It has a lot to do with the upbringing of the person. It has a lot to do with where the person is spiritually, where the person is like again, their experience. It has a lot to do with the intentions, right? And some people grow faster than others because they are intentional about growing, and some people are not even aware of what the intention of growing is because of their upbringing. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things that factor into the mindset of a person. It can be their environment that they in. It can be that they never even had people in their lives that are honest with them and tell them the truth in order to help them grow. Like, some people are around a lot of people that just condone they BS. Like, for instance, like a girl who just wants stuff from you, she's not gonna take the time to help you build yourself and become a better person. She wants to get what she can get and she wants to go. And then a person who actually cares about you, they're gonna be in your life trying to like help you better yourself, right? Because it's 3 stages. It's self-discovery. First, you have to figure out who you are, what's inside of you, the feelings that you feel, the reason you react how you do, the reason you have the habits that you have, whatever the case is. You got to identify, which is self-discovery. Then you have to self-develop, which means once I discover these things, I'm now I'm identifying that, okay, I got a temper, right? But then self-development comes like, okay, why do I have this temper? I have to develop my mind to realize, like, okay, this is happening because. And so now I'm going to be intentional about processing information a certain type of way. I have to realize that, okay, instead of reacting immediately, I just need to think about all aspects of the situation before I even react, right? And then the third level is self-improvement. Once I identified the things that I have, and once I'm starting to develop as a mature, as the highest level of myself, now it's time to improve. Because in the development stage, you can change things and you can um, become a better version of yourself. But improvement is a lifelong thing. Improvement is, I always want to be able to reach another higher level. You know what I'm saying? I might have identified I have a temper problem, and I might have developed in the fact that knowing how to channel that. But improvement is more so like, okay, now I'm going to improve the way I communicate with people, the things that I say. um so I feel like self-improvement is a never-ending thing, and I feel like I'm getting way off topic, but self-discovery, self-development, self-improvement, those are all things that we need in order to reach our highest level of self, and we're going to always again be improving. So when it comes to younger people, we have to have patience with them, right? Because we have to communicate things with them in a way where it don't tear them down, in a way that they will understand and realize that we have this knowledge because we can relate, because we've been there, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you still have to have boundaries for yourself. Just because another person is still growing doesn't mean that you sacrifice your own happiness. And that's when the friction come in, right? Because a 30-year-old woman is not looking for the same things that a 26-year-old woman is looking for. The age might not sound that far apart, but it's very rare that a 26-year-old or a 25-year-old is thinking about um, generational wealth and like creating assets and like just certain things like longevity, and making sure that everything that you invest your time and your money in, because relationships are an investment, it's very rare that a 26-year-old is thinking about relationships in that way. Not saying that some are not, because I was very, very mature for my age. Like, people always told me, like, you is just way too wise for your age. So it's rare cases, but I'm a 1%er. Like, I'm literally a 1%. I know that I'm a 1%. And it's a lot of other 1%s out there, but it's very few. So you're going to come across probably like 125-year-olds that is not thinking about nothing longevity, no assets, no return on investments, before you meet a 26-year-old who's actually thinking about those type of things. So moral of the story is, a woman that's 30 plus is more thinking about, okay, I want to chill out. I want to make sure that all my investments, the people I invest in, are going to be around for a while. Like, say for instance, right, you with a guy that you dating, you decide you want to invest in a house. Y'all not together no more. Now y'all either got to figure out how y'all going to split the asset, or if you just going to walk away from the whole thing. Once you get over a certain age, I would say 30, because but I've been thinking like this since I was like 27. But anywho, once you get over a certain age, you don't want to constantly pour into things that are not going to grow. So you don't want to have temporary encounters, because it's meaningless to you, especially a person of stature, like somebody who actually have something going for themselves. They know that everything is on the up and up for them. So why would I invest in temporary things when I can just be by myself and, continue to invest in myself and the things that I see for my future until someone permanently comes along? Like, an older woman, bro, you don't want to like kill his spirit. You don't want to discourage him. You don't want to make him feel like he's not enough. Like, but you still want to keep your boundaries and live your full life. Basically, you want to live the life that you want, which is, you might want to be married. You might want to create generational wealth. You might want to like, assets and everything is important to older people. Like, I'm not older. I'm young and fine, but I'm just saying, like, once you get over a certain age, you don't really want to be doing temporary things, right? And so They might come into your life thinking that like old age is not a problem, I'm capable, whatever the case is, and the potential might be there. But potential and time is two totally different things. And time is like your most valuable asset. After 30, you don't really have time to be betting on somebody's potential. It's either they coming correct and they willing to do the work, or they're not. You can't be looking into their future thinking about what they could be, because it might take them 5 years to get there. You don't, for one, you don't know what's gonna happen in that 5 years. For two, you gonna look up and be 35 years old and finally be trying to figure out if you finna build a foundation that's stable. That's not what you want to do. You have to date people that's already in the realm that you're in. You have to date people that's already moving how you move, have the same mindsets, whatever. Not saying that the person gonna be perfect, but what I'm saying is y'all have to be on one accord. He have to already come to you with the same desires. Like, okay, say for instance, you're a type of woman who you desire to be married and you're ready to start building assets, establish whatever, whatever. The guy who you date already have to have this in his mind. Like, okay, I'm tired of squandering my wealth. I ain't trying to be giving all my money to all these 304s. Like, I gotta really set a foundation here. Like, it's literally men who have that mindset already before they meet you. You don't have to cultivate that mindset. You don't have to make them have that mindset. You don't have to coddle them into having that mindset. They already come to you with that mindset. And so that is when y'all on one accord. You can't be thinking, oh, he young, I'm just finna help him, I'm just finna teach him, I'm just finna, that's not how that works. That's not how that work. That's not how that work at all. Okay? Like, and I'm not saying that some of the relationships cannot work, but it is very seldom that it does, because they are still developing. They are still learning. They are still growing. And that doesn't make them less than you. That doesn't make them a worse person than you. It doesn't make them whatever. It just means that at this time in life where I am, you are not able to offer me the things that I need. And for a relationship to work, both people have to get what they need. It can't just be me pouring into you, but I'm not getting what I need back out, because you're not able to do that, because you don't even understand the fundamentals of doing that. And like I said, it don't mean nobody is bad. It don't mean nobody is less than. It don't mean none of that stuff. It just means the timing is off. This guy might remind you of like he might give you the feeling of like your high school love, or like how you used to see love back then or whatever, and it might feel good to you because it's vibrant, it's exciting, it's like what you wish you would have had back then. But listen, let that young man grow, let him live his life, let him fully develop, because if not, it's gonna be some type of resentment. He gonna start to feel like you controlling, because you're really trying to help him skip over the hurdles that you had to go through, because you've already been there, you've already seen it. You know what financial literacy does for somebody, you know what stability does for somebody. So you're trying to instill this in them early so that they won't waste all their time, but they gonna see it as you being controlling. Oh, you trying to force stuff. Oh, you don't understand me. Oh, you trying to belittle me. Oh, you this and that, instead of being like, nah, she really care about me, and it's actually gonna be a good outcome if I at least take her advice. And I think it looks different when you got two younger people. Like, say if I'm he 26 and I'm 26 and I'm trying to give him advice, right? It looks different. He might accept her advice more easily. But an older woman, they already automatically think that you're trying to change them, control them, whatever. They already have this preconceived in their mind. It could be anything, like people, they hearing people say this, whatever the case. It could be any reason why they have these thoughts. But for some reason, advice and like help and stuff is not received well when it's coming from somebody older than you, because everybody think that they know everything. It's all pride, right? It's not that many people in life who are able to accept constructive criticism, help, Edification is like when what is editing? Like helping things get better. That means, but some people cannot accept that. Everybody in this world, they think that they have to have it all together. And if somebody catch them in a moment where they don't have it together, they think that means something wrong with them. And that is not true. That's not true at all. We are all here to help one another, no matter what stage in life, no matter what age in life, no matter what. But I think it's all in the approach. I think that younger guys be intrigued by older women and they feel like, okay, I can pursue her on a personal level. But you have to be honest with yourself. If you know that you are not willing to do the work, you probably shouldn't pursue an older woman, because it's going to be things that she's going to require of you. It's going to be things that she still needs in order for her to be happy that you may not be willing to fulfill. Okay? So, and I'm saying this because I get younger guys crazy about me all the time. It's not rare. It's just a thing. So it's like sometimes they be like really want to be in my space. They want to be with me. They want to whatever. But then when it comes down like to the things that I'm looking for, which is like commitment. Of course, I want my husband to be a man after God's own heart. I want him to be a great leader so that I can trust his judgment. You know what I'm saying? Like I can trust him to lead our house and not lead it into destruction. You feel me? Because everybody wants this submissive woman, right? But in order for a woman to be submissive, I have to trust your judgment. I have to know that you're not going to squander our wealth. You're not going to mess up our money. You're not going to ruin our assets. You're not going to like just lead us into destruction, whatever it is. I have to be able to trust that. And the way that I trust that is if I can already see you taking these actions without me saying nothing. This is literally the type of person you are before I even came into the picture. You was already like really focused, your interests. You always have to take heed to what the interests of a person are. If his interest is like partying or gambling or women or whatever, you have to be cautious of that, because a person's interest is what leads them. Okay. And so basically I have to be able to trust your judgment. I have to be able to know that your interests and your intentions are good. I have to know that you are an intentional person. I have to know that you have plans for your future and that your plans are of a king status. You know what I'm saying? Even the Bible says do not waste your strength on women who ruin kings. And so you have to know that you are the son of a king. You're God's son. And so you hold yourself to a different stature. Like you upper echelon when you know that you a king's son. When you know that you the son of God, you handle yourself differently. Everybody can't be in your presence. You're not finna lay with anybody. You're not finna waste your money on anything. You're not finna let anything come out your mouth. Why? Because you know that it's power on your lips, and you know that the things you speak are powerful. You know what I'm saying? Don't speak against yourself. You are a king. Because you're royalty. God said that we are royal priesthood. We are peculiar people. We are the apple of his eye. We are his chosen ones. And when you know that, you operate differently. Like you that nigga for real. Because it's just like the type of stuff that you gonna invite into your life are gonna be of high stature, because you love yourself that much. Why? Because you know how much you mean to God, and you know exactly who your father is. But that's a whole nother different, that's a whole nother different type of conversation. But the point of me saying this is that dating younger guys is fun, it's cool, it's very exciting, it's like, it's cool. But, and I'm not saying it shouldn't happen ever. What I'm saying is, it has to be somebody who's willing to do the work. It's younger guys out here that I know, and they like, strip club don't excite me. I'm not going in there wasting my money. Like, nah, I'm saving for this. I'm doing this. Like, they really focus, and it's all in here. And so if you catch somebody who's younger than you and they really willing to do the self-work, the relationship work, the emotional work, the communicating work, like if they willing to do all of the work, and a lot of younger men, they have not mastered their emotions yet. So as soon as something go wrong, they running, they gone. That's not beneficial to a older female. Like, we in our longevity stages, we in our okay, disagree, agree. We might not sleep in the same bed, but we gonna wake up and it's still gonna be us tomorrow. Like, younger guys, they still learning how to channel their emotions. They still learning that everything not always gonna be perfect. Relationships are not always perfect. People are different. Two different people with different personalities, different ideas and morals and whatever, coming to make their life one and coming to cohabitate in the same space and like build things. It is never going to be just always happy. I don't know who told them this. I don't know who taught them this, but that's just not how it works. And so you got to be resilient. You got to be able to stick and stay. You got to be able to see past the small things in order to build the things that are going to last. You know what I'm saying? Um, People don't make it to years of marriage and like multiple properties and assets and all this stuff these people have together. They got multiple business together. This man worked with hundreds and thousands of women on a daily, but he still got his wife. Why? Because you have to realize that, first of all, some things are not worth your time. First of all, some things are not worth you jeopardizing what you're building. That's another thing. Not even just controlling your emotions. Younger guys have to learn how to like have self-control. Like, one night of having a good time is not worth years of investments or things that you've established with another person. So I just feel like you have to get, younger men need time to develop their emotions, their mental state, their resilience. You had, like, when you're younger, some stuff that you encounter would literally depress you or like break you or like make you feel like you not that nigga. But that's not what that is. Like, that's not what life is. You encounter things in order to make you resilient, in order to make you strong and powerful, and gives you the will to fight back. That's what they call enigmas, things that are come to um things that you're gonna come up against in life. Is not to make you discouraged or make you want to give up or make you whatever the case. It is to make you resilient. And I just honestly feel that younger men don't have that resilience in them, unless, like, say, like, it's like they high school sweetheart or whatever. But you got to learn how to stick and stay, because it don't really matter what you see on Instagram. Every single person has a flaw. Every single person is going to disappoint you once in life. So you have to be able to stick and stay. But who's going to stick and stay with somebody that's not permanent? Nobody wants a temporary guy. Okay? Nobody wants a temporary guy. So it's like, you just have to really realize what type of person you're dealing with. If you dating somebody, you can tell that they really persistent, they willing to do the work, I would say it's nothing wrong with giving them a chance. But I feel like you should, as an older woman, you should always set your boundaries at first. Don't go into something not saying that your intentions are to be married, and then you look up 6 months, a year, 3 years from now, and you like, how come we never got married? How about he never was thinking about that and you never said that's what you wanted? That's your fault. I feel like if you're gonna date a younger guy, you have to voice what you want. You have to voice your expectations so that he can be like, okay, this is something that I'm willing to try, or this is something that I'm not ready for, and I'm gonna back on up out of here. Okay? And another thing, sometimes younger men are so intrigued by older women, they're not gonna be honest about whether they're able to give you what it is that you want. So you have to be able to discern, and you have to be able to look at the situation and see where it's going and be honest with yourself. Don't be so distracted by whatever feelings you having or whatever type of sex life y'all have or whatever that you don't see what's really in front of your face. Like, if you so say, like, for instance, if you come into you come oh, what happened? Say, for instance, you come into somebody's life and you like, right now I'm looking for a husband at this time, blah, blah, whatever. And in the back of his mind, he know that he not ready for marriage, right? But he is enjoying your company. He enjoy like everything about you. He's not gonna let you. He's not just gonna let you go and just be okay with you leaving. He not gonna tell you that he not ready for that. He gonna say something like something to keep you thinking that maybe one day. He's gonna say something like, like let's see where it go, or he might say something like he's gonna say something to keep you like thinking that maybe it could develop into that. He's not gonna tell you that that's not what he's looking for. So if you decide to give this person a chance as you're dating, I think that you should have discernment and that you should really observe the situation and be honest with yourself. Does he have the qualities of being married? Is he willing to put in the work of a married person? Is he always quick to just get up and leave? Is he working on being expressive and communicating and stuff like that? You got to look at the fruits of the person. And it's like, if you don't see those things, you have to be okay with saying, I really like what we got going on. I really like the type of person that you are. But again, I have to be intentional with my life. And I can't give you 6 months and a year. That's a long time for a woman that's over 30. That's a long time. A year is a long time to give somebody your life without knowing if y'all on the same page. Why? Because the person that's for you, you don't have room for it because you got somebody else in your life who not on what you on. You can't meet them because you ain't nowhere out because you with this other person who don't have what it is that you need. You got somebody who's a great person. There's nothing wrong with them, but you have them in a place that is supposed to be empty for the person that's for you to be able to meet you, to be able to court you, to be able to date you, for you to be able to get to know the person that's for you. But if you have somebody in your life that's not ready for the things that you're ready for, you're doing yourself a disservice, basically. Okay? So what I'm saying is, it's nothing really wrong with dating younger guys, but typically, most of the times, it's not a good idea because you're more... Now, it's some immature women over 30. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm talking about they immature. They still, listen, they still city girls. Do you hear me? I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about a woman who actually has intentions and who is setting the stage for the rest of her life. It takes time to build assets. It takes time to build a relationship that's gonna last. It takes time, and you want somebody who's willing to put in the same time as you, not somebody who willing to get up and go every chance they get because they have not mastered the art of developing their emotions, their communication, their resilience. Like, being a resilient person, it's not easy. I think I learned resilience by being an entrepreneur. It's a lot of people that's going to tell you no, they are not interested in your product or your service before you get those people who say, yes, I love what you're doing, I'm going to stick and stay, and now I'm your customer for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me 2 years to get consistent tax clients. I had my business for 6 years now, and I still got all the same people that I had at first. But it took time. So it takes time for a person to be like, okay, she upset with me right now, but that don't mean she want me to leave. We disagreeing right now, but that don't mean that it's over. Like, it's right here. And some younger guys can get there quicker if they have people in their life. Say, like, if they have a man needs to hear from another man. I think hearing it from a woman is cool, but if he got another man in his life who is monogamous, who understands how to communicate and how to actually build, if he got another man in his life that's encouraging him that marriage is a good thing, or agreeing and disagreeing is a real thing, and you don't always have to get up and leave, or you don't always have to get up and go cheat or find somebody else every time y'all disagree. And if he actually has somebody in his life that's telling him the truth about those things, he might develop quicker and receive it better because he like, okay, I see such and such, he's successful, he got his wife, like, I'm gonna take his advice. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't have people in their lives that tell them the truth and that condone nonsense, people that's like, oh man, skip her, go do this, or you don't need that, you too young, live your life, do that. Like, yes, you are supposed to live your life, but if you come into somebody else's life and you expect them to be all for you and to love you properly and stuff, you're supposed to be willing to reciprocate that, which means whatever it is that she needs in her life, you're supposed to be able to accommodate some of them things. And if longevity in marriage and establishing and building is something that she wants, you're supposed to be able to accommodate that, because if you cannot, you just have to be honest with yourself and leave the situation. Like, leave the situation. And it don't have to be no bad blood. It don't have to be, oh, I don't like you. Oh, I gotta show you something. Like, nobody cares. One thing about me, because I know that God has only the best for me. Every good and perfect gift comes from God. So because I know that God has only the best person for me, if me and another person split ways, or we disagree, or we realize that we not for each other, you can guarantee I'm not dwelling on that and I'm not thinking about that, because we gave it a shot. And just because it didn't work don't mean that you ain't good enough, you is less than me, or you don't got this, you don't. That's not what it is. You were not able to offer me at the time what it was that I needed, because you were still young and you were still developing and growing and building yourself, that it wasn't our time. So I just feel like everybody got to be honest with themselves about stuff, because I think that a lot of younger guys be in this, they just be intrigued by older women. They like a lot of things about them, but they not willing to put in the work it takes to actually be in her life, because she's only going, I'm talking about a woman of stature now. I'm not talking about no 35-year-old that don't do nothing but sit on the phone and gossip. And we're not talking about all that. We're talking about a woman of stature. She's not going to allow you to take up too much time and space in her life before she speaks up and be like, okay, well, we've been dating for a little while. We have not evolved. We haven't really built anything. It's not really going nowhere. Nothing has changed. So I honestly think that I just need my space. It's not going to go too long before she say that, because she is making space so the person who's supposed to be in her life can come on in. You got to make room for him, because if you there, you got to think about it. If you got another man in your life, first of all, his energy is going to be with you. For two, who's going to approach you when they see you with somebody? You probably taking pictures with this other person. Like, you never outside because you always in the house trying to play wife roles, cooking and cleaning for somebody who's not your husband. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. That is doing yourself a complete disservice. And that's why so many women, 3 and 4 years in a relationship, never married. Breaking up. You 36 years old. And you ain't found nobody that you done been with for longer than 3 years. That's like, really, y'all on that? You ain't engaged yet? Y'all ain't married yet? That's because you sowing on bad grounds. You giving your everything to something that's not being fruitful. You planting seeds somewhere and it's nothing growing there. So I feel like when younger guys approach you, older women, I ain't saying shut them all down. I'm saying keep them in the friend zone, watch the fruits. Keep them in the friend zone, watch the fruit. Like, I'm only saying what I know. Ever since I turned 30, I'm talking about 23, 25, 27. The young ones be trying to get at me, but it don't really do me no justice, for real. Like, they think that they ready. They think that they can offer me something, but money is not what I'm looking for. I got enough. Not even enough, God. I'm gonna take that back, God. I'll take some more. But I'm blessed. I would say that. I'm very much blessed. It's not money that I'm looking for. I'm not a carnal-minded woman. I'm not a shallow woman. I'm not in somebody's face just for what they can give me. I'm looking for longevity. I am building stuff, and I'm building it on my own. So I would like for someone to come into my life who wants to build as well, so that my investment will not be idle. I'm not investing in somebody who ain't got no intentions on sharing these investments with me. Okay? Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So the moral of the story is, I just think that it's impossible for you to just think like, oh, age is not a what is it? Age ain't nothing but a number. What they think, like, I think that is delusional. That is very much delusional, because look back at your life. Think about how long it took you to develop and grow and learn things about yourself, and then use those things that you learned in a real life scenario when it's going down, and actually do what you've learned. It took me some time to be like, you know what? He getting on my last nerve. But I'ma just chill, and I'ma chill. I ain't about to argue. I ain't about to. It took me some time for that. But it's always gonna come out different when you're not getting what you want or what you need. It's gonna come out like frustration. If you with somebody and you doing everything that you can because you want to be this woman to him, and he got all these other women and he ain't paying you no mind, you ain't no priority in his life, it's gonna come out as frustration. It's gonna come out as toxicity. It's gonna come out as combativeness, and that's not what you want. Save yourself from that. I'm telling you, because it was me, bro. I'm passive. I'm doing everything. I'm making sure that he's happy. I'm cooking. I'm being, understanding. I'm being patient. But nothing never changed. He was he was happy with me, happy about the things that I could offer, but never changing the outcome. I was never his main girl. I mean, I would say that maybe I was, but I never heard it out his mouth. But his time, him being present, him making sure that, I'm not upset or nothing. Okay, yeah, he can give me that. But an actual commitment, it was never made. It was never no establishing of any building or assets or anything of the future. And it didn't take me long. Trust me, it was only about 3 months that I realized, like, no, this does not look like what God promised me. God promised me a man after his own heart, somebody who would be everything to me that I need and that I want. And if it doesn't look like what my father promised me, because I know how much God loved me and because I love myself, I'm not gonna waste my youth and waste my time and waste my life with something that does not look like what God promised me. I'm okay with parting ways. And again, that does not mean there's nothing wrong with you. It just means that you're not him for me, okay? Or you're not ready for the things that I'm ready for. So let's separate. Let me live my life, because I have to have room for the person that's for me. And if you happen to get yourself together and hey, you happen to be ready for the things that I'm ready for, maybe you can spin the block. But other than that, it's like, I think that women have this perception of, oh, I gotta hold him down, I gotta show this, I gotta prove this, No, you don't. That's the wrong mindset. That shows that you do not love yourself. Because honestly, if you loved yourself, all of the things that you claim you doing, proving and all that, no, his actions will prove to you that he feels this way about you. He's not gonna make you second guess your position. It's not gonna be no confusion about where y'all stand or who you are to him or where is it going. If you gotta ask yourself where it's going, it ain't going nowhere right now. It's at a standstill. Okay? You that's not healthy. That's not a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship is when we are both making sure that we are in this thing to serve each other, and we are both happy because we are both getting what we want, and we are both like really putting in the work for this to actually grow into something and produce great fruit. Okay? Like, no. So like I said, if you decide to date a younger guy, I would say 3 months tops. I would say, if you decide to give him a chance, I would say 3 months tops. Watch his actions. Watch the effort that he put in. If it ain't giving what it's supposed to give, you gotta be honest with yourself. Don't be afraid of letting go. Don't be afraid of not meeting somebody else. Don't be afraid of being by yourself. Like, you do not, fear is the thing that keep a lot of women in relationships that never meant them no good. They be too scared to live. They be too scared to be by themselves. They be too scared that they ain't gonna meet nobody better. They be too, no. Time is ticking, child. Time is ticking. So if you do decide to give a younger guy a chance, put a time limit on it. And put it in your head. It don't have to be to him. Like, okay, I'll give you a couple months to show me what you're really about. I honestly don't think it should ever go past 6 months. Why would you give somebody who ain't producing no fruit 6 months of your life? And when I say producing no fruit, I mean like it's not even looking like longevity. I ain't your woman or nothing. We just vibing. Like what? Who does that? Not nobody, no. Not an older woman, like with intentions for her life. You supposed to date with intentions. It's no way that you're gonna get a husband if you don't date with intentions. If you okay, cool with giving somebody 3 years, 5 years of your life, I ain't talking to you. I ain't even talking to you. I'm talking about somebody who intentional and who knows her value. When you know your value, you like, no, I don't really have to put up with this. I don't really have to deal with this. It's like a whole line of people who would love to just do right by me. I just haven't chose them because they ain't my person. But I'm just gonna wait on my person because I know this right here ain't it for me. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to a certain level of self-love and knowing how much God loves you, you don't accept just anything. And not accepting anything comes with being honest with yourself. Now, you know this young man still got developing to do. Every time y'all get into it, he disappear because he don't know how to stick and stay. He don't know nothing about no resilience. He don't know nothing about no communicating. He don't know nothing. He can't even tell you how he feel about you because he don't know nothing about no communication. Like, younger guys have a lot of growing to do, and some of them come off as very mature. They might have, they might be making their little monies. They might be, doing certain things that give you the impression that they are wise enough or mature enough. But I can guarantee you, they still have developing to do, and it's not nobody's fault. We had developing to do when we was 26 and 27. We not 26 and 27 no more. We 30. So therefore, you have to act accordingly, ma'am. Do you want to be 40? Still allowing people to just walk in and out your life? Be temporary and seasonal? If you okay with that, honey, I don't know where you came from, but this is not that. I never been like that. Even when I was younger, like I just turned 30 December 31st. Even when I was 25 and 26 and stuff, I was not like that. I always been intentional because I knew that I was going to be wealthy. I knew that I was a millionaire. I knew that everything in my life is just more high class. That's how I want it to be. And if I ever hit a time in my life where I couldn't provide that for myself, you can best believe I was busting my butt and on my knees praying to God so that things can change in my life. But I never been the type to just sit in something that's not serving me and not changing the situation. No, you may not have a whole year of my life to get yourself together. No, you may not. I need to see the fruit start today. Okay? Like, what is you even talking about? If y'all got some questions, ask. But it's just like, they still need time to grow, gang. Like, they fun, whatever, but they still need time to grow. And I feel like they deserve that time to grow. They deserve... It's really two things that's a deal breaker for me. Like I said, the resilience, being able to realize that even when you and your lady having a disagreement, that don't mean that she don't like me. It don't mean that she want me to leave. It don't mean that we done. It just mean that two people having a disagreement. And all the time, younger men don't understand that. And then the second thing for me is the emotional intelligence. You're supposed to be able to identify what it is that you're feeling. Identify why are you feeling this way, and know how to express that, and know that expressing yourself to me don't make you weak. It don't make you soft. It don't make you nothing. It's just like, that's how you grow. If I don't know how you feel and I don't know how to help you because you don't even know what you're feeling inside and you can't express it to me, how I'm gonna help you? How I'm gonna help you? And like I said, if a man didn't grow up with another strong man, a mentally strong man, an emotionally strong man in his house that's teaching him, like, nah. Like, these people literally telling guys it's not okay to... Shaq, what he say? It's not okay to open up to women. How y'all listening to a man that was on national TV humping on another man? He can't tell me nothing. He ain't got no advice to give to me. you're weird. You're not a masculine man. I don't care how tall you is. I don't care how big you is. You're weird. So with that being said, like I said, if he has somebody in his life that's like being honest with him, somebody in his life who has had longevity relationships and who can give him good advice, good counsel, he might come into his emotional maturity quicker. He might have the potential to be what it is that you need him to be. But you can tell, like I said, you got to look at the interest of a person. What interests him? If every time somebody walk past, he breaking his neck, he got a problem. And I ain't saying that beautiful women should not get the recognition because I'm a woman, and if she pretty, I would be like, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like his interest. Is he always at the club? Is he always want to hang out and party? Is he wasting all his money? Is he gambling all his money? Like, whatever it is, is he disrespectful in the way that he speak about women? Do he honor his own the women that's already in his life? How do he speak about them? Do he use foul language towards them? Like, really look at the type of person they are at their core and do not make excuses. Be okay with saying, this is a nice young man. I like everything about him. I like the time that we spend together. But the fruits that he is producing is not matching up with what I need in my life as a 30-year-old woman. The time is ticking, ma'am. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you this. The time is ticking. So do not waste your youth. 30 is still young. I am so young right now. I'm like, so beautiful. And if I wasn't, the young guys would not be talking to me. But it's just the simple fact is, you don't got the time. You don't have that type of time to waste. So be intentional about dating. Be honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. And love yourself more. If you loved yourself more, you wouldn't be trying to hold on to something that is not working for you. I just turned 30. Baby, I am not wasting my time with people. No, sir. I'd rather be on a yacht somewhere over in another country trying to figure out what man is out there who been waiting to meet me his whole entire life. Why would I be sitting somewhere with somebody who don't even see my value? Because when people see your value, they see it from the time that they meet you. They see it from, a couple of, like I said, I ain't going past 3 months. If I don't see like no good intentions, if I don't see nothing developing, changing, that's a hope for me. That's like, okay, back up. We can be cool. Go what far? Go what far? What you mean? Go what far? I doubt you gotta go that far. Go what far? Like out of the country or something? I don't think I gotta go that far. Yeah, you're right. I don't think I gotta go that far either. But what I'm saying is, like what I was saying earlier, if you have somebody in your life that is basically just taking up space because they are not producing what you need in your life, that means that it's no room for the person that's for you to come in. Your energy got to be clear. The space got to be clear. Your attention got to be open. You got to be open-minded. When you already dating somebody, your feelings are with them. Your mind is with them. Your actions are, you trying to be where they are. You trying to make sure they eat. You are already consumed with the energy of another person. That leaves no room for the person that's for you to come in. So that's all I'm saying. Like, don't just allow people to take up idle space in your life. They living in your head rent free. They in your house eating up all your kids' snacks. Like, he ain't, what he doing? Like, what he doing? What are we doing? No, I'm sorry. But pretty much stuff you be already knowing before you be knowing beforehand. I think a lot of times people like to ignore, like I said, because you be having that feeling of excitement. You be you like certain things about them, like, you know, you might be attracted to how they look, you might be attracted to that one thing that they do. I can't even wink. That was funny. But you might be attracted to that one thing that they do, like you might, like I said, so if you remember how it felt when you first had like your first high school sweetheart or something, right? It felt so fun. It felt so alive. It felt like everything. But it didn't work back in your younger days. And then you meet this younger guy who makes you feel that excitement, whatever. You thinking like, okay, it could work because I feel this again. This my time. We gonna work this out. No. It's just a platonic connection, Bookie. It's just a platonic connection, Bookie. You gotta live in reality. Stop daydreaming. Stop telling yourself lies. And stop being that girl. I want to break something right now on this live, because I always see, and I wish that people would stop idolizing like Krishan and stuff like that, because I love Krishan. Yes, I do taxes. Yes, I do taxes. Donnathebillionaire or Donnathebillionaire on Instagram, email, whatever. We can talk about that. But I want to break something real quick, right? Because people, like, for a long time, even when I was younger, people used to say like, you know, the down girl, the girl who got to prove that she gonna be with him regardless to what. She toxic, she willing to fight over him, she willing to do whatever. For some reason that became normal. It became normalized that somebody can abuse me emotionally, never make me a priority, never have any good intentions for me or our relationship, and I'm supposed to be this down girl to show him that I'm the one. That's called being a pick-me. That's what that's called. Billionaires, pick-me, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? No. If you do not understand that I'm the 1% and that you're going to have to run through probably 1,000 before you meet another me, that's a you problem. It's not a me problem. And so all of this pick-me stuff just got to stop. It got to stop, because this is why they are comfortable treating us the way that they do. They are comfortable not putting in the effort. They are comfortable not bringing you flowers. They are comfortable with missing your birthdays. They're comfortable with doing the things that they do because you're a pick-me. You never said, I'm good on this. It don't look like what I want. It's not what I want, and I'm straight on it. You have to, like, come on. Are we standing on business or what? And that's not manipulation. That's called loving yourself. You have to love yourself so much that you don't care who go, because you know that God, the one who loves you the most, is going to place the right person in your life. The reason why I know he is because he loves me. Like I'm literally a king's daughter. I don't know about nobody else, but I know who I am. And God has never given me anything short of what he wants me to have. Matthew 7:11 says that if the evil one can give good gifts to his children, what better gifts can our Father in heaven give to those who ask, those who love him? He's going to give you the desires of your heart. He's not going to give you anything short of your desires. That's not the type of God that I serve. I don't know what type of God y'all serve, but my God don't give me anything short of my desires. So with that being said, if I ask God for a husband that is persistent, who loves me, who's faithful, who's a man after his own heart, who's actually going to be fulfilling to me, why would I settle for something other than that? That's not what I asked my Father for. Okay? Like, we gotta love ourselves more. You don't have to feel like you ain't gonna meet nobody else like this, or oh, he too fine, or what if he be with somebody else, or all of this That's just showing that you don't love yourself. Maybe you should get in the mirror and be like, girl, you cute. You real cute. Like, do you know who I am? And that's not being arrogant. That's not being narcissistic. That's not being nothing, because I am valuable. And if I'm a good thing, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. If I'm a good thing, I am supposed to know that I'm valuable. And you're supposed to know that I'm valuable. And you're supposed to treat me as such. And you don't get no shorts. And I ain't talking about being perfect. I'm saying, okay, somebody who willing to stick and stay, somebody who willing to build. Okay, he might leave hair in the sink. Okay, he might not cook. He might not clean up. He might have a horrible way of processing the stuff that you saying to him. Like, not being perfect has nothing to do with somebody valuing and appreciating you. That's another lie we need to go ahead and quit. Oh, he just ain't never had love. He needs to learn how to love. If you don't just stop, I guess you his mama now. Now you got to teach him how to love because he ain't never had it. Okay. Captain Save him. Okay. That's what we doing. So we spending 5 and 6 and 10 years of our lives trying to teach somebody how to love who don't want none. Who ain't never going to process it. Who could care less about this LOVE that you talking about. He don't even care. But he gonna give you the bare minimum to make you think that he do, because he love all the stuff that you do for him and he want him to keep on going. What is you talking about? What's a lie? I ain't telling not one lie. Not one. But you don't have to be a pick-me, girly face. You don't have to be a pick-me. You can live your life, be happy with yourself until you find somebody who make you happy. You don't have to. Oh yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Thank you for that clarification, Eric. I think so too, because I feel like even if you didn't have your parents in your life, even if you didn't have love, all this other stuff they be coming up with, you know how you want to be treated. And to love people is to treat them how you want to be treated. It's simple math. It's simple math. Now, if you treat yourself like crap, I can see why you treat me like crap. If I can look into your life and see that you treating yourself like crap, I can see you have no, it's not no bar of high standards in your life. You don't even know how to, like, I can understand that part. You treat yourself like crap, so you think you finna come in my life and treat me like crap. Let me just go and just nip that in the bud right now. Like, but I don't know. I think that it's a line cross between, okay, so the young man, he's like intrigued by the older woman. He really likes her presence. He really likes things about her, so he wants to be in her life. And she's somewhere thinking, this means that this is my person. This means that this is longevity. So I'm just gonna give him time to adapt to what I need. That is not how that works, Bookie. He loved everything about your presence. So of course he's gonna stay there. But that doesn't mean that he's willing to give you the longevity type of relationship that you're looking for. And I even heard a man say, he said a man not gonna just he not just gonna let you go. And that's why I feel like women, we should have the discernment and be honest with ourselves and be like, this not going where I want it to go, so I have to end this. I have to end this. I can't wait on him to do it because he probably never gonna do it. He like it here. He love it here. He not gonna end it. I have to be the one to end it because I'm the mature one and I can eyeball work. I can see somebody knows nothing about emotional intelligence. I can see that somebody is not willing to put in the work. I can see that there's no commitment here. I can see that there's no growth here. You have to be the one. And don't, like I said, don't let it get to the point where you so upset with him for not being what you wanted him to be that it comes out in a toxic way. Because I done that before. I was so frustrated with saying the same thing over and over that I snapped out one day like, would you please just leave me alone? you should be able to, and that's why I'm telling you this, because I've been there. I've learned the lesson. So I'm telling you to teach how to still have a healthy friendship, a healthy relationship with another person, because we are all placed here to help each other without it getting toxic. Don't hold it in and don't wait so long, which really you're hurting yourself, because you know it's not going nowhere, and you just keep on, oh, I'm just being understanding, oh, I'm just being patient, oh, I'm just being passive. You're hurting yourself, and then all of a sudden you're mad at him because he never developed into what you want him to be, and now it's coming out in a toxic, feisty kind of way. No. When you see it, address it and cut it off right then. Because I even seen myself before I got like, and this is over with, I'm just speaking from experience, but what I'm saying is, when I saw myself like not getting what I needed, I tried to express it like, oh well, you know, I'm not really into all of this fly by night type of stuff, like I'm looking for this type of man, whatever. And because he enjoyed my presence, he would basically kind of like ignore what I'm saying and like do nice things in order for us to make it into the next day and the next day in peace. And I understand that. We both love each other's presence, but it does not discredit what I just said. I told you what I'm looking for. It's not looking like that, so I need this to come to an end. But I didn't express that, and I didn't stand on business when I expressed that. I let it continue to keep going because I was feeling like, you know, the nice gestures or him being present was him trying, but no, that was just him keeping his place. That wasn't him making no commitment to me. That wasn't him growing mentally or emotionally or whatever for the sake of our relationship. That was just him trying to keep his space. So women, you have to be the one to end it if it's not what it's supposed to look like, because he's not going to do it. He not going to do it. He love it here. Okay? He love it here. He loved the good meals, Bookie. He liked the cuddle. He liked the spirituality that you bring to the table. He loved it here. He's not going to let go of that, but still he knows that he's not ready to be married. He's not willing to build. He's not willing to do the work. He's not willing to be consistent. He knows these things about himself, but he's not going to tell it to you because he's afraid of losing you. So you have to be the person to end it on a good note, not make him feel like he less than or he not enough or he this and that and that. End it on a good note. I really like the type of person that you are. I enjoy all the time that we have, but this is just not what it is that I'm looking for in my time, in my life. And you got to stand on that. He get the call late night. I ain't answering that because I told you what it was. Because I know if I answer, I might actually want you to come. Like, you got to just stand on business, bro. Stand on business. It's nothing wrong with younger men. We love them. But they are not fully developed in all of the areas that it takes in order for them to be what they are supposed to be to you. That's nobody's fault. It's just wrong timing. And like I said, if you decide to give one a chance, just watch for a short period of time and see if the fruits are coming in, if the growth is coming in, and act accordingly. But if you see that it's not what it's supposed to be, just stop trying to hold on and make stuff that it's not. Just stop. Just stop. I think the hardest thing as human beings for us to do is be honest with ourselves. Whether it be relationships, whether it be self-development, whatever. It's a lot of people who cannot look in the mirror and tell themselves, you know you was wrong. You know you need to apologize. You know you need to change. You know you need to do better. You know you messing up money. You know you playing a lot of games. It's not a lot of people who will look themselves in the mirror and tell themselves the truth. I think that is the hardest thing for mankind to do. I know I need to treat her better. I know I need to treat him better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I have issues. I know I got an anger problem. I know that I need to just shut up when I'm mad. Don't say nothing. Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Now, that's me. And people be thinking I'm crazy. Oh, you don't want to talk? You ignoring me? No, I'm being quiet so that I won't say something that I'm gonna regret. I'm just gonna be quiet. Can you respect my boundaries? You gotta give me a little time to process. Just give me a little bit of time, because if I react, I'm gonna say something that I don't even want to say to you. I'm probably gonna be speaking out of defending myself. I'm probably gonna try to hit you with a low blow. I'm probably gonna try to whatever. So I learned that I need to shut my mouth until I get my ideas processed, until I look at this whole scenario, okay, in many different ways before I respond to you. But everybody is, again, not willing to tell themselves the truth and do the work. So I enjoyed y'all. It says exactly, if God created all of us, who is all loving and knew us before the world began, I knew he installed love in each of us. Yeah. But you know what? Some people, yeah, that's for men and women. It's a big fact. Um, some people are not operating in the spirit of God. That's a whole different, my ministry channel is Kingdom Kid. And I talk about God and everything, but for a different topic, for different days, everybody is not operating in the spirit of God. So even though God created us all, you know, equally and created us after his own image and his own heart, which is to be lovers, everybody not operating out of the spirit of God. A lot of people are being used by the adversary, okay? They are, um, you know, some people was even born into an environment that is just not conducive to their growth. They don't know nothing about what I'm talking about. They don't even know where to begin because they ain't never seen it. All they ever seen was toxic, low vibrational, like, so. And that's again when it comes to being honest with yourself. Now, if you get to dating somebody and you get to meeting their family and you looking around and you see it's something wrong in this family, listen, I'm gonna need you to be honest with yourself. Is this what you willing to pick your poison? Okay, pick your poison, because a lot of things factor into why people think how they think, why they act how they act, why they do the things they do, like the habits that they have. It's a lot that goes into that. Some people are willing to change. Some people are intentional about changing. Some people are intentional about being their highest level of self, and that was me. That's why I am how I am. People say, oh, you so quick to just get up and leave. No, I'm intentional about dating. I know that I want a husband, and I know what it takes to get one, so I'm not going to stay in no relationship that I know is not serving me. I'm not making excuses for myself, so why should I make excuses for other people? I was adopted when I was 7 years old. Still ain't seen my mama to this day, and I'm 30 years old. I didn't have the type of love I wanted in my life, but I'm not letting that stop me from getting it. That ain't gonna make me stop me from projecting it. I love people as a whole, so I know the person that's for me gonna get the best love up out of me. They're just who I am. I'm not shallow. I'm not arrogant. I'm not selfish. I could say I ain't never seen it, this and that, and that's why I am. I got my brother. He raised me like he was my dad. Loved me, loved the socks up off me. So I know what that feel like. I met my dad when I was 21 years old. He loved the socks up off me, okay? I know what love is. And I'm going to give it to other people. Even before I met my dad, I knew what love was. And I'm going to give it to other people because I am a daughter of the Most High. God has loved me better than anybody ever could. And that is where I learned the true definition from. You ever been in a period where you felt like you was alone, but it was still somebody there? Providing for you, comforting you, loving you, helping you stay sane. That love that you get from God is untouchable. And once you experience that, you're able to love yourself properly. You start to love other people properly. And you don't settle for things. Because you like, well, if my father can do this for me, why would I settle for this? I was without nobody for this long. And God was still providing for me. He was showing up for me. I remember being in a point where I didn't have nobody but my kids, nobody. And I needed stuff, and it was no possible way that my physical strength could provide the things that I needed in such a quick time. Because when you working for something, you have to work for it, you have to save for it, you have to apply for it, you got to get approved for it. Like, I saw myself in a season of life when the things that I asked God for showed up in my life. The next day, the next 2 days, the next hour, like, God was showing me his presence. I was seeing the move of God, the hand of God. And that's why it's nothing that can tell me that God is not real, because I've seen it for myself. I've experienced it for myself. So therefore, God, that was a season where God was teaching me how not to accept just anything. God was teaching me how to love myself by showing me love. He like, okay, I love you this much. You mean this much to me, and everything belongs to me, and all power belongs to me. So if I can give you all of this as me being your father and you being my daughter, you don't take no shorts from nobody else. And it's the people who are good with settling. It's the people who are so passive and who just are not giving themselves the proper self-love that never really accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. And I'm not talking about just wealth, even though that's what I'm talking about too, but even just think about it. We talking about Krishan Rock. This is somebody who doesn't truly love herself and know the love of God, because if she knew how much God loved her, she would know that I didn't get this wealth because of a man. I got this wealth because God used somebody at a certain point in time to help me, and all good and perfect gifts come from God. So I don't have to idolize him. I don't have to worship him if he is not treating me accordingly. I can leave and I will still be blessed, because the blessings never came from him. They came from God. You know what I'm saying? So she's really a monogamous woman. She really want her husband for real. But if you continue to pour out so much of yourself and idolize people instead of giving all of your attention to God and making God the head of your life, you're going to get spent in circles. You're going to continue to experience the lack of appreciation because you're not standing on business. Like, you're not standing on kingdom business, first of all. And I promise you, this is not one of them videos. I love God, and my channel, y'all know where my ministry channel at, but I'm just saying, like, you really got to stand on the love of God. Like, what? The way God love, can't nobody come at you no other way when you really know what that feel like, when you really experienced it. And I think a lot of reason why people say, well, they don't know if God real, they never experienced it, is because, for one, they have made other things idols. Like I just said, if you give it something else a pedestal and you haven't fully submitted your heart to God and knowing that I'm gonna live for God no matter what, you're making other things an idol, whether it be a person, whether it be a drug, whether it be a habit, whether it be whatever. And so how can you experience the love of God when you're not leaving any room for him to move? Every time you feel vulnerable, you got to go smoke, because that's your comfort. You're not allowing God to be your comfort. You're not allowing God to be your provider, because every time you feel like you need something, you panicking, you trying to do it on your own, you stressed out, you ain't even take it to God, you ain't leave it there, and you never believed that he was going to come through for you anyways. How could you possibly experience the true love of God if you've never even been patient and waited on him to come through for you? Sometimes the reason why you're waiting is because God wants the glory, and he wants you to know that he's the only one who could have done it. If it come while you running around and thinking you in control and thinking you doing everything, you gonna think you did it. You're not gonna say this only happened because of God. You're gonna say this happened because of this person. This happened because I did this, and I went to this job interview and I did this. You ain't do nothing. But sometimes that is why God will allow it to be a time span where you don't see no movement. You like, is God hearing me? Is God with me? For one, you're supposed to always know God with you, especially when you're a child of God. Just know it don't matter what it look like. My Father is with me, and I'm going to see his hand move. I'm going to see the move of God. I will continue to wait. I will continue to pray. I will continue to fast. I will continue on this journey because I know God is with me. And that's when you're going to see him show up. But sometimes, like I said, it's a time lapse because God wants to know that you are fully relying on him. He wants the glory for what's about to happen. And I just feel like a lot of people don't give him the space to move. You calling on me, but you ain't giving me no room to move. You calling on me, but you still think you in control. You calling on me, but you putting other people in my position like they your God. It's just, I don't know. So that was my testimony, y'all. It's been a long video. It's been a long video. And that went completely off topic because we were talking about, like I said, I'm not saying that older women shouldn't date younger men. I'm just saying be cautious, be honest with yourself, check the fruits out, scope the scenery out. Scope the scenery out, okay? Gotta scope the scenery out. And don't let it go too long. Man, I watched my sister. My sister was another example. I watched her be with somebody for years. In the predicament she was in, when he decided he wanted something else, it's all because she wasn't honest with herself. She ignored the signs. And I think it was fear. I think she was in fear of losing what she had. She was in fear that she might have not met nobody else. She was in fear, thinking that that was it for her. I don't know what it is, but it's like, one thing about my adopted mom, she is a God-fearing woman. She loved God, and she always had this movement about herself that I take with me every day now. Everything that God wants me to have, it's going to attract to me. It's going to attract to me, but I cannot be in my own way. I can't be letting people just pull up and park in my life. Don't mean me no good and they ain't going nowhere and I'm allowing it. What? No, you have to make room for what God has for you. Make room. Listen, when they say clean up my house and kick the devil out, baby, we kicking everything out. We kicking everybody out. That's not like God up in here. For real, we kicking everything out that ain't like God. I don't care how much I love it. I'm going to pray when it's gone that God release me from the soul tie. I'm going to pray when it's gone that God release me from that covenant that I made with the enemy. I done let something come up in my house that was not like God, and I made an agreement with it. I let it get comfortable up in here. I'm repenting for that. Then I'm going to ask God to deliver me from that. Take all of the everything that I'm feeling in my chest, my stomach, from letting that thing go. I'm going to ask God to remove it. I'm going to ask God to strengthen me again, to restore my joy, to restore my happiness. It really get like that. You got to be, when I say be intentional, you got to be intentional. I ain't ate because I'm feeling this. Nah. You got to pray that up off of us. Whatever it is that you need, you got to go to God for it. Man, I'm telling you, being honest with yourself will save you a whole lot. It'll save you a lot. It'll save you a lot. Because when you're honest with yourself, you know how to pray. You know what to ask God for. Discernment get real strong when you're honest with yourself. You like, so see, some people, you know what? They be thinking like, I'm tripping. I feel this way about this person, but I'm tripping. When you got discernment and you led by the Spirit of God, you ain't tripping. That's your spirit. That's God placing it in you. That's your conviction telling you, this is not what it's supposed to look like. And I need to do something about it. I ain't saying throw away everybody you get. What I'm saying is maybe I need to sit them down and communicate. Maybe I need to move differently so that they can get the picture that if they don't catch up, I'm up out of here. Like, we have discernment and we are naturally spiritual beings. We are in the physical, but we are not fleshly beings. We have to always, that's why I'm so serious about God, because without God and without the Holy Spirit, I will be lost. There's no way I would have discerning of spirits. There would be no way that I could see spiritual things, that I would know spiritual things. The whole world is spiritual. Everything's happening in the spiritual before it happens in the natural. So you have to be tapped into the spirit. You got to. Or you're just unaware. Like, people who are not spiritual beings are unaware. And some people hear when I say spiritual and they think, well, okay, well, how come evil people are successful? Or how come, I don't care what they is. If they understand spirituality, whether they doing wickedness or whether they work or they light workers. You know what I'm saying? I work for light. I'm a child of God, but it's people who work in the kingdom of darkness that understand that this is a spiritual world and that this is not physical. And so they move accordingly with all the things that they be doing, and they able to do things in the spiritual. You get what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get too far in that, but anybody who knows something know that this is not flesh. This is an illusion. This the after effect of what happens already in the spiritual. This an after effect. How come you think I felt this way about this person, then I found out they was doing it? It's because it happened in the spiritual first, and you did nothing to stop it. You didn't go before God about it. You didn't do nothing to stop it, so it manifested in the physical. When we get to understanding that, we get to understanding how to change the dynamics of our lives. Because you literally got all authority and you can go before God with anything, and you can, spiritual warfare is real. It's not a fake thing. You can give pushback in the spirit. You can fight in the spirit to change what you see in real life. And so what I've been learning to do is to be proactive. Sometimes stuff get past you and you have to be reactive after it already happened. You have to pray against it and go before your Father, which he gonna fight for us anyway. He gang about his kids. Let me tell you that. He don't play about his kids. He a better parent than me, and I'm talking about I'm gang about my kids. But God don't play about his kids. So one thing I can say is to be proactive, which means to speak into your life the things that you want to see. Speak into your life the things that are so. Don't wait until stuff get all out of whack and then want to be falling all out. Like, it's okay, because sometimes stuff get past us and we have to go before our Father and be a tattletale. Like, God, look what happened. But for the most part, you want to be proactive. You want to get a hold on what is to come before it comes. Okay? With that being said, I am Donnathebillionaire. I am a life, business, financial coach. I have a tax business. Yes, I do, for whoever asks that question. Definitely can hit me up, donnathebillionaire@gmail.com, for any, I teach taxes as well. I do taxes, I teach taxes. What else? I have a lash company for the ladies. I have a podcast. It's called Trendsetters on the Go, for self-development. I have multiple books out right now. And yeah, I'm building something really big for my coaching, so that it can be like we can learn earlier about business and financial literacy and just self-development and being our best selves way ahead of time. Like, I feel like people find themselves in sticky situations and then they want to scramble around for information. But if the information is already available to you before you get yourself in a sticky situation, you come out on top sooner, better, bigger, stronger. Okay? So, I hope y'all enjoyed this live. I hope that if you're part of the Billionaire Squad, that you are an intentional being, that you are honest with yourself, that you are very big on self-development, self-discovery. Before you can even self-develop and self-improve, you have to literally spend time with yourself to discover. And self-discovery is not always about isolating yourself from other people. Sometimes it do come a time where you have to isolate, but then it's a time where you have to get in the field. You have to be in the midst of situations to see how you're gonna react when things go down. Self-discovery is, if you ever felt like, oh, I got it all together, I got my attitude under control, I got this under control, I know how to manage money and everything, but then you get out there in the field, you get out there in the world, and a situation happen and you snap off on somebody. That's self-discovery. You like, oh, I thought I had it all together, but I realized that I don't have an attitude with everybody no more, but if my man do something, I'm gonna snap out on him because I still got this in me towards him, towards, to your personal, your significant other can get you to do things another person couldn't do. So, again, self-discovery is like, oh, I thought I had all my money habits in order until I got into a situation where I might have been impulsive and I made a decision that I should have took time to think about. Okay, I still got some developing to do in this area. So, um, it's just like I said, Billionaire Squad, we the 1%. We are intentional. We are we tell ourselves the truth. And we, even if we're not okay with what we see, we care to change it. We put in the work. That's what billionaires do. We put in the work. Okay? Make sure that y'all always stay in tune, that you keep my link tree so that you can always find me, Donnathebillionaire on Linktree. And a lot of what I do on this channel is about, business, financial, lifestyle, whatever. However, I'm definitely about to get back to some vlogs and stuff, some fun stuff. But I'm naturally a coach by nature. I want to see other people do good. That's me naturally. So I'm always gonna have videos that's like the ones that I have on my channel. Like, and if it's anything that y'all want to see, anything that you want to learn more about, yes, I'm an investor. I love investing. I feel like real estate was one of the best investments that I ever made because of the method that I did. Real estate is not a good investment for everybody because their method and their strategy is not right. I don't. If I get a mortgage, trust me, I'm gonna turn it into a asset generating, like a income generating asset. I'm not just gonna sit in this house and pay the mortgage for 30 years. No, my first house was a cash buy. I bought it off the land bank for $1,500 and I sold it for $13,000, and only did like bare minimum. I bought some drywall. You know how cheap drywall is? I put a new tub in there. The tub was only like $500. So profit, I probably made about $9,000-10,000. But it was the fact. I turned that house around in 1 year. I was able to stay in it while I was fixing it up. I saved so much money while I was in that house. On top of that, when I decided to leave and give somebody else the keys, I got $9,000 profit. Because I probably spent only about $3,000 in the house. So real estate is a good investment if you have a great strategy. And I did do a video on how to buy properties cheap. I used the land bank, but it's also tax liens and like distressed mortgages and estate sales, other things that you can do to buy cheap properties. We can talk about that. Just comment if you want to. I love investing in the stock market. I love cryptocurrency. It's everything that you do, you gotta have a strategy. You can't just walk into something thinking that you knowing what you're doing and then you mad because you ain't getting no profit out of it. You have to walk into it with a strategy. Am I swing trading? Am I day trading? Am I short-term stock trading? Am I doing options? Whatever. You have to have a strategy. It's gonna work for you if you have a strategy. So always get with somebody who know what they doing, somebody who's been there, done that, and allow them to steer you in the right direction. So yeah, I talk about a little bit of everything. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this channel with somebody who you think might need it. I'm all for the girlies. I'm a girl's girl. I like to help women build, become wealthy, become successful, help self-develop, whatever. So share this with a niece, a sister, auntie, anybody who you feel like will benefit off this channel. That would help me a lot. And that not even just help me grow the channel, but that would help me with my purpose. My purpose is to build women up and to build the culture up, not just women. I help men with their businesses. I help men build houses. Buy houses. I'm sorry. I help men with their finances. I help women and men. Okay, so it's not just for one gender. But yeah, I'm for the culture, y'all. I'm always gonna be for the culture, even when I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna still be for the culture. I'm gonna have me some funds. I'm gonna be giving away um, business grants and school grants, and that's just who I am. That's who God called me to be. I'm a kingdom helper. Okay. So again, share this channel with somebody who might need it. And I love y'all so much. I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all for being faithful. Y'all gang about me for real. And I know that the people who really been sticking with me is because God sent y'all to stick with me. Y'all know it's something about my aura. Y'all know it's something about my spirit, and y'all just ain't never left me. So I love you. So you do have, okay, yes, I have a video. I think it's called How to Buy Properties for Cheap, or Ways to Buy Cheap Property, something like that. I made it like last year sometime. I was in Mississippi visiting my friend, but I did speak about a couple things like that. And I have one, How I Bought My First House for $1,500. Yes, I have that video up. But far as like coaching, I do one-on-one coaching, so email me for that invoice. And when I coach people, I make sure that they got it down pat. I make sure that they actually progressive in what they doing before I just leave them. I don't be like, oh, okay, the hour is up, I'm gone. Like, I'm not like that. I want to make sure that you retain the information and that you actually successful in what you're doing by the time we get off our phone call. So if anybody looking for one-on-one coaching or group coaching, I do have group coaching sessions, but for some reason I think people be shy or something. They never tap in for the group coaching. I like to coach a lot of people at once. If we can do it virtually, that way I don't have to constantly repeat the same information over and over. But if I get somebody that's serious about one-on-one, I will coach you one-on-one. But I've done author in 8 weeks, teaching people how I self-publish my books, because I get paid for the rest of my life off my books. I get royalties from Amazon every 3 months. So I publish books. I leave my literature behind, so when I'm gone, people can know about what I instilled in the culture. The things that I know, I teach them, I write them in the books, and I put them out. So Stretch the Money is one of my business books. That's like my beginner business book for people who are just walking into entrepreneurship. Just to get your mind, to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have your mind right. So Stretch the Money is about transforming the way you think about money. But yeah, so author in 8 weeks, how to monetize your content. I do have a investing coaching workshop. So yeah, I do all of that stuff. That's what I do. I'm still in school for business. I graduate this year. And I'm an investor by heart, by nature. I'm all about generational wealth. And then so I have my small little businesses on the side. So I don't teach nothing that I never done. I don't teach nothing that I don't believe in. I'm just not that girl. So yeah, share the channel, y'all. I feel like it's somebody who needs to hear this video. It's a girl somewhere who I need to help. It's a man somewhere that I need to help. Like, it's people who missing to generate the wealth transfer because they don't know what to do. Everything is moving so fast. It's so much information everywhere. You hear something, then you hear something else, then you put down what you're doing, and then you go pick up something else, and then you do, like, it's just, it's so much going on out here. You gotta grab hold to what it is that you really have passion about, and you gotta stick to it. Because one of my mentors, Myron Golden, what he says is that people leave the dock before the ship come in. And like, you might feel, like I said, it took me 2 years to get consistent tax clients. You might feel like something that you're doing is not working, and so you decide you want to do something else. And I'm not saying that you can't have multiple streams of income, because I do. But what I'm saying is, pivoting and aborting a mission is two totally different things. Pivoting is okay, I know that I make most of my money during tax season because I got a tax business from January to April. But when April is over, I'm pivoting into my other business that's going to carry me for the rest of the year. I'm not closing down my tax business. I'm not giving up on my tax business, but I'm pivoting because my tax business is semi-seasonal. It's not all the way seasonal because I still teach taxes during the year to prep people for the next year when they want to open their own tax businesses. So it's not completely seasonal. But pivoting is when you're just navigating with the things that you have. Okay, it's time for me to make this a priority now because this is the season that I'm in. Aborting a mission is when you like, oh, this not working for me. I saw somebody online talking about something else, so I guess I'm gonna try that and I'm gonna leave that alone. No, you can go study that other thing and you can start and get good at it, and then when it's, you still feed time into the other thing that you was doing, because it's gonna grow gradually. You might have 2 clients this month, you might have 10 clients next month, so yeah, that's what it is. Anybody who missed this video, go back to the beginning, because it turned into something else. Like it was about age difference relationships, and it turned into God and business and everything that I feel like somebody needed. So I am starving, okay? I am hungry. And so I love y'all. I'm for y'all. Y'all always can come to me, Donnathebillionaire@gmail.com. Always come to me. I feel like I'm going to be the type of person, even when I get big, even when God actually blesses me with my billions, I don't think I'm ever going to turn my back on my culture, because I'm only as successful as the number of people that I make successful. If I'm a billionaire and I make 100 millionaires, I feel like I made an impact. That's me. That's just who I am. That's how my heart's set up. And I want people to know more about the kingdom of God, because the kingdom of God is no lack. There's no lack in the kingdom. It's only abundance. It's only prosperity. It's only more than enough. It's only rivers of living water. You hear me? It's not no lack. That's not who God called us to be. Yeah, because how a king's son or a king's daughter gonna be poor? It don't add up. We inherit the kingdom. We are the first heirs. We are inheritance of the kingdom. Get that through your noggin, and then you're gonna walk different. You're gonna approach situations different. You're gonna approach clients different. You're gonna approach life different. If something knock you down, you're gonna get back up. Something discourage you, you're gonna get out and try again. Somebody tell you no, you're gonna ask somebody else until you get yes. Because you know, when you're a child of the kingdom, you know that if a door is shut, it's only because that wasn't the one I was supposed to walk into. God has one better for me, and I need to go get it. I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on what. When you dwell too long, you miss what's for you. Because you can't even see it, because your mind is so wrapped up and consumed with what you thought you lost. When you seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all these things will be added unto you. You cannot lose. There is no lack in the kingdom. You have to take out of your mind the thing that you thought you lost in order for you to be like, okay, my dad said that wasn't for me. Let me shake back so I can see what he got for me. It could be something literally right around the corner, but you cannot see it because you're dwelling on what you thought you lost. You thought you lost a person. You thought. Stop thinking this. This is negativity. This is nonsense what you're thinking. So I'm so happy that I talked to y'all today. I feel like I helped somebody today. And even if I help one person today, I'm happy. Instagram and YouTube, TikTok, Donnathebillionaire. And another thing, stop thinking that people who minister and people who speak the gospel are perfect people. Stop thinking this, because the moment you think this is what discourages you from continuing your walk with God. You like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in the kingdom of God, because this person claimed God, but they acting like this. And this person claimed God, but they acting like that. Like Krishan, I know she loved God. She just has not gained complete power over her flesh. She not really being obedient at the moment. But I truly believe that she loved God and she got a heart for God. So don't look at people and be like, oh, they listen to this type of music. Oh, they doing this. I sing. I got secular music. I haven't put it out, but you know what? When I stopped putting out music, God was like dealing with me. Like, you don't know who I'm gonna send you up into that industry to touch. You don't know who I'm gonna send you up into that industry to tell about me. You cannot listen to the expectations of people. Don't do that. When it comes to following God, don't do that. Don't mirror nobody else's life. You literally have your own relationship with God, so God can tell you what to do and where He wants you to be. If all the holy people stayed on the holy side, how other people gonna get saved? It makes literally no sense. Sometimes God will take you up into a place just to pull somebody else out. That's your story. That's not the mother in the church. That's not her story. That's not their story. They can't tell your story because they not writing it. It's one author of our story, and God is the author of our story. Do you know how many women in a strip club that changed their life because I was there and I changed mine first? They're like, oh, she used to be a dancer. She loved God. She ain't coming back up in here no more. We can't even get her to come back up in here no more. It's because I was where I was supposed to be when God wanted me to be there. It didn't look to other people like that was where I was supposed to be, but I had my own journey. God had His own plan for my life. He ain't let nothing happen to me up in there. But some people walked up out of there with me. I know some girls who would never be backsliding down that pole because they found out who God was. I'm telling you, do not let other people dictate your walk with Christ. But what I will say is when I say be intentional, I mean in every aspect of your life. You're supposed to always strive to be a better example of who God called. You know what I'm saying? Be a better vessel for God. And that's why I am where I am right now. Because even though I have a past story, I was always intentional about it. Was many days I cried because I knew it was more for me. I kept going before God. I knew God wanted to add more value to me. I knew God wanted more for me, and He needed me to touch other people. So I was already convicted in my spirit. Days I wouldn't get up and go work. Days I would just cry because money was my idol and God was not in the center of my life. It was so much that I had to fight through to get to where I am now, where it's just no compromising. You know what I'm saying? I already know who I live for. I know who is the head of my life. God ain't letting me go nowhere. He don't play about me. And I don't play about Him. So, yeah, I thought I should say that too. Because sometimes people be like, oh, well, they are preaching the gospel and I seen them over here doing this and that. Y'all got the whole thing mixed up. People who God sent in your life to speak His word are vessels. They are not these holier than thou people that you're supposed to be putting on the pedestal, idolizing them like they your true example of what you're supposed to be in the kingdom of God. That is not what we're doing here. God will use anybody to speak to you. And sometimes people just be passing through. Y'all be getting too comfortable. Oh, I'm just going they gonna be my mentor and I'ma just listen to everything they say and do everything they tell me to do. What are you talking about? You're supposed to be able to discern. You're supposed to be able to take the meat and spit out the bones. You're supposed to be able to take what it is that God is trying to give you through this person and be willing to move to the next location, move to the next mission, move to the next assignment. Okay? Do not be confined to the things of this world, which means stop thinking, oh, this where I've been for 10 years. I gotta stay here. No, God might want you to get up and go somewhere else because He got somebody that He wants you to talk to now. Now it's your turn to minister. Now it's your turn to share the gospel. But you're not being obedient when God say move. You're not being obedient when God say go. Your time here is up. So busy trying to hold on to everything. Oh, because God sent you to minister to this person, he just got to be your husband. You ignoring all the signs, but you just got to stay here because you think you're confined to the things of this world. You have to be like, okay, nope. I did my part. I ministered. I showed them who God was. It never developed into what I needed it to be. And so God must be telling me it's time to go. When you move with that mindset that you're going to be obedient to God no matter what he tell you to do, you're going to see a drastic change in your life. Because God been done placed you over here. You done built the network over here. You done went over there. You done met some people. And I ain't saying have no wandering spirit and don't be stable and all that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is be obedient to God. Whatever it is that he tell you to do. It might not be moving. It might be going to this event when you tired and you want to lay at home in your bonnet, boo. It might be open up your door and feed this person a meal because they need it today, and make sure you speak of me when you're doing it. But that don't mean that they gotta come live with you. You just gotta know. Like, you gotta be able to ooh, wait. Look at my shirt. Church people gossip the most. And I can say that because I'm a child of God, and I have to make sure I bring correction to the kingdom, okay? Because that ain't what God wants us to do. He wants us to pray for each other, not talk about each other. Yep, double, yep. I gotta make me a thumbnail for this video because this video was fire. Like, fire. This video was so fire. I love y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell, and I'll see y'all in my next video.